Second city, but first in every team. Champion town, got trophies and them rings. Bulls on tap, we coming for everything. Yeah. Tap sports, we coming for everything. Yeah. It's apparent, nobody talking better than Melissa and Derek. They hate to compare it. Us and winners laced in the marriage, forever we cherish. Got opinions on the Bulls, who better to share it? I know you wish you can be cool as we. Foolishly, you never be number one against our legends 2 and 3. Don't act like y'all don't know who you hear, who you see. Bulls on tap sports. Y'all know who we be. For real, word.
What's up, Bulls Nation? You are now tuned in to another episode of the Bulls on Tap podcast, presented to you by On Tap Sports Network. I'm your host, Derek, and as always, I'm kicking it with my co-host, Miss Melissa. How's it going?
Yo, what's good, everybody? Glad to be back.
And today we are joined by a special guest, Julius. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming on.
Man, appreciate you, Mr. Derek, Miss Melissa, for giving me the platform to talk about my team.
Hey, that's what we're here for. Give Bulls Nation a voice. It's a podcast by the fans for the fans, as we like to say. So, we got to kick it off with, we got to get your Bulls origin story. Like, what got you into the Chicago Bulls?
So, first, I'm originally from North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Became a Bulls fan back in '87. That's when I started pretty much following them. And pretty much the '90s, I was definitely following them hard. Pippen was my favorite player. It wasn't even Michael Jordan, it was Pippen, to be honest.
Okay.
So pretty much when Pippen got there, it was Jordan's sidekick, and they made it do what it do.
All right. So I guess our official tally right now is 3 for Jordan, 4 for Derrick Rose, 1 for Kyle Korver, and 1 for Scottie Pippen.
Wow. Okay.
That's interesting. He's my cousin's favorite player too. Everybody's around that in that era seems to lean towards MJ, but yeah, it's my cousin's favorite player too, Scottie. Can you tell us why? Tell me why he's your favorite player.
Pretty much like Scottie Pippen. When he got the ball, he did his thing with the ball. He knew how to distribute it. He knew how to play defense, and he can score. You know what I'm saying? So he made it to where the Bulls was be able to move the ball, score, play defense, everything. Like, to me, he was the key of that defense. They said Michael Jordan, but I think it was Scottie Pippen. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. Pippen is definitely like the original point forward.
Right.
That's pretty much based on what NBA players are now, where we see a lot of that. Pretty much he was LeBron before LeBron. I mean,
because it was crazy how they was first off, they was comparing Pippen to LeBron, and then they switched over when they figured LeBron was the greatest to Jordan. But that's an argument for another day.
Right. I mean, that debate's going to go on probably till the end of time now.
Exactly.
Yeah, but growing up, you could say in North Carolina, but you weren't. It wasn't Jordan, the North Carolina boy, that got you, and you got into it with Scottie Pippen. So, what is like one of your favorite memories that you can think of watching the Bulls during that era of the dynasty?
Pretty much when Pippen dunked on Ewing.
Oh, so the '94 playoffs, he dunked on Ewing, gave him the push, over him. One of the most iconic dunks in Bulls history.
Disrespectful. That's like the most disrespectful dunk in history.
And for real, I think so too. That's why that's my favorite memory of that dude. For real.
So obviously you saw the Bulls win championships, and you've seen the Bulls at their worst and build up to the Derrick Rose era, and now we're where we are now. Going through that, and what is your reaction having witnessed the Bulls win championship after championship after championship, and then do it again, and then just like fall off the cliff after The Last Dance?
So to me, I'm gonna definitely chalk that up to the front office. They could have definitely made better decisions throughout that time after that era. I understand, so everybody trying to save money on players and stuff like that, but it's definitely a way to do it and to have us competitive. Like I said, I love the Bulls, gonna always be with the Bulls, but to me, we need to be competitive more than, because you being competitive, you're gonna sell tickets. That's to me just the bottom line. And I definitely think throughout the hard times, we definitely could have been more competitive. Could have hit the free agency market way more than what we did. Did it just instead of just bringing in walk-in players, not off the street, but you know what I mean. Just signing guys just to fill the roster. I think we definitely could have did better than that.
Yeah, your Walt Lemon Juniors and guys like that.
Right.
Shout out to Steven that's in the comments. You're from Fredsville. Are you a J. Cole fan too?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Appreciate the shout out to J. Cole. Yeah, he's definitely from the same place.
Melissa was just in New York for the J. Cole concert. Last weekend?
Yeah, the concert was Monday. It was so good.
Right. He definitely puts on a good show.
Too. He always
Shout out to J. Cole and that North Carolina connection. Cole and Jordan and Julius.
No doubt.
Steve's is my man.
I thought when you mentioned that, I thought you were going to allude to the fact that you're an MJ fan. And then I thought about Cole too, but I was like, so that means he's got to be an MJ fan. But of course you're a fan. But
yeah,
he switched it up and want us. He said, "Nah, Pippen was his boy." So yeah,
it is with the crossover.
As we're into this, I guess, rebuilding era again for the Bulls. The trade deadline is pretty much kicking off now. It's official. Latest trade rumor is that the Denver Nuggets are interested in Zach LaVine, and we would more than likely see a return of Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke Naji. What is your opinion overall on Zach, and if that trade makes any sense to you?
So I do agree Zach should have been traded, to be honest with you. Last year he should have been traded to me. But for that value, I think we should get a 3-for-1. For the simple fact, we see Zach does his thing on the court, but it's just we need more players around the team that actually, I guess, can make them better. Zach is a scorer, and I feel he's not making us better. So if we get 3 players that can definitely play their role, and those 2, it would be, but I think we still need a third to make that an even trade, to be honest with you. But definitely we should trade LaVine and get back, to me, 3 players. Porter Jr., I'm on the fence about him, to be honest with you, because he's up in that. and the other guy,
no comment on Freaky Zeke.
No comment on that.
Melissa, what's your thoughts on that potential return?
I don't really have too many comments on that. I just want to get, the way that he's been playing, the way that Zach's been playing, though, he has definitely increased his trade value. That's all I know.
Yeah, so, he has. He's definitely balling.
Yes, people remember that he can actually hoop versus what we were seeing last year. Last year, I do think that things got a little bit too extreme with the disrespect. For sure, people are acting like this man doesn't know how to play basketball, but it was
he definitely know how to ball.
Yes, he can hoop. So at the very least, I know we got to get some good return back.
Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up? Thanks for tapping in. Yeah, like any type of trade, like it has its pros and its cons. Porter Jr.'s like having a career year this season where he's like shooting the three at almost 40%, averaging like 18 points a game, 7 rebounds. Just looked a little better defensively. Zeke really isn't playing, so I get the no comments on
Right.
Zeke. He's going to be on the bench over there, listening to Dipset. But I mean, the cons are, you're not getting any cap relief in that trade. Porter Jr.'s contract is for as long as Zach. I think Zeke's is for a year after Zach, so you're not getting the cap relief. Not helping our salary cap to where we have clear space to go after a free agent, and it's no draft capital that would probably come because I don't even think the Nuggets have a first round pick. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think you do that trade. I mean, I don't think the trade makes us bad enough to keep our pick, and I don't think either way. I don't think with Porter Jr. or Zach LaVine we'd be bad enough to keep that pick. So you might as well just keep Zach at that point.
Exactly.
Steven says Porter Jr., Julian Starver can hoop, and Zeke Naj return is mad, but some building pieces there. Yeah, another pro is like Porter Jr. is like 3 years younger than Zach, but his injury concerns are, I think, worse than Zach. So I don't know. It's a toss up. Steven says he wished that they traded Zach for Jalen Green last season. No, you're not feeling that, Julius.
I'm not agreeing. I'd rather keep Zach.
Rather keep Zach. I mean, yeah, we'll see what they do. Because of that contract of Zach, it really hasn't been getting much traction in the trade market, and for the Nuggets to be reportedly have a big interest in it. I mean, it's a great trade for the Nuggets because you get Zach LaVine to pick with Nikola Jokic, and
right? Murray, Westbrook, it'll definitely boost him up.
Yeah, Westbrook, Murray. I mean, that's a formidable punch in the West. And you could definitely see them like get deep in the playoffs, if not be competing for a championship with a piece like Zach.
Real.
Meanwhile, we'd probably still be in purgatory over here, like in danger of losing the draft pick. I mean, there's now like been an unnamed source, which happens in trade rumors, I guess, saying that the Miami Heat are interested in Nikola Vucevic because they want to slide Bam to the power forward. And I'm not sure what type of return we would get from the Heat. I've seen a lot of people in Bulls Nation saying that they would want Khalil Ware. You're like, I don't know.
Right.
I think Melissa is having some technical difficulties. So yeah, but I think they just drafted Khalil Ware, I think. So I mean, that would be a good young prospect, maybe. And maybe if we trade Vooch and we trade Zach and we trade Lonzo, then maybe like it would seem like the starting lineup would maybe like not be as good enough to be hanging around playing competition.
But I was kind of screaming that last year too. I really didn't want them to get rid of DeRozan, to be honest with you. I really wanted them to build around DeRozan because DeRozan to me is a good leader. I wouldn't have got rid of him for real.
Yeah, I think because of DeMar's age.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think DeMar's like 36, 37 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, like all of us Bulls fans, we love DeMar DeRozan and we love what he accomplished here in his short time as a Bull. And
Right. Man, that dude, man. I was glad when we got him.
he pretty much made himself a Bulls legend to like 2.5, 3 seasons that he was
Yep.
here. But versus last year with DeMar, so the offense was a little bit slower paced than what it is now with the up tempo and not shooting all the threes.
Yeah.
Were you more in favor of playing slower with DeMar than with this up tempo offense we've seen so far this season?
I think with the up tempo offense, kind of killed our defense a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was going up tempo like that. Because you see the scoring, and we scoring, but it's just like, dang, we giving up all these points too. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and then you get rid of your best defender in Alex Caruso,
Right?
or Josh Giddey in a straight up trade.
You know how he is with his defense. He ain't got nothing. Like, come on.
So, what is your overall opinion on Josh Giddey and what we've seen so far?
So with Josh Giddey, he's not a bad guard. If he definitely can get his defense right, we definitely can keep him and do some things with him. But as far as our guard play, I'm definitely favoring Kobe White. I'm gonna say he shocked me coming out of Carolina. Like, he really stepped his game up because I was like, okay, do you think he doing it?
Another North Carolina connection there with Kobe. And Melissa has rejoined us now. Can you hear now, Melissa?
I can hear.
Okay. Was just talking to Julius about Josh Giddey and the up tempo offense, and he went back to his North Carolina connection and shouted out Kobe White.
Yeah.
Oh, so I mean, what do you think about Kobe so far this season? It seems like he hasn't had that kind of play of last season yet.
He hasn't, but I feel he's definitely he's gonna turn the corner. I think he definitely got the potential to be a Bull for a little bit longer. And boy, I just hope they don't trade him. Let him. He's building his game up a little bit. Let him do his thing. And he gonna get there.
Right. A lot of it, Kobe has like been going through different roles like almost every year that he's been on the team.
Right.
Last year, he had the ball in his hands a lot more as a primary ball handler, and you had DeMar DeRozan there. So, two would go to DeMar, and he could kick that out to Kobe and let Kobe make it. So whereas now you're asking Kobe to play more off ball and catch and shoot role with Josh Giddey and letting him like run the point. I personally would have liked to seen Kobe and Ayo get more run as that backcourt like last season and bringing Giddey, but Giddey's here now, and front office likes him. So do you are you in favor of re-signing Giddey after this season or letting him walk?
I would let him test the free agent market, to be honest with you. I definitely would. Not necessarily say walk, but let him test it. You know what I'm saying? See what his value is. And go from there.
Okay, because Giddey went down with an ankle injury in the last game, and you know how Bulls are with injuries and their medical staff. A report came out earlier that Billy Donovan said it wasn't as bad as it looked, and they're hopeful he'll be back soon. There's no timeline, and we know how things go with the Bulls, where it's not that bad, and then the player's out like 4 to 6 months and needs surgery. So, any concerns with Giddy missing significant time?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think he would. If he's in the line, it ain't gonna make a big difference if he's out or in. To be honest with you, I still think we got a couple of pieces that can come off the bench and and do what he was doing.
Okay. Derek Anthony in the comments, he says, I would be fine with letting him test free agency. If he doesn't get anything and signs a qualifying offer, we would retain his bird rights. And if he has a better year next year, go from there.
Yep. See, like I said, there you go, Derek.
Clem, French Bull CV says, hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tapping in, Clem. So you say Giddy doesn't really matter if he's there or not. I'm not a Giddy believer. I will give him credit that he was playing a little bit better than when he first came here and started the season off. He's been okay offensively. He's been putting in some effort in defensively. Passing's good most of the times, but he still has those kind of dumb turnovers, which kind of expect with Giddy. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how they play without him. Maybe more minutes for Lonzo, who's been kind of getting his minutes ramped up. Are you more in favor of Lonzo getting more minutes and running the offense?
Boy, that comment to me and Lonzo, I'm not a fan of his at all. I'm gonna be honest. I was hating that we brought him on the team. That's being honest. And see what it got us. Him being hurt. Which, man. We paid him that money. And he said, boy, that was like the worst move ever, to be honest.
Oh, man. Shout out to him. He had an experimental surgery and he's back. He's playing well. It's like another what if for the Bulls. Like, what if everything went right with, Lonzo and DeMar and Caruso? How far that team maybe could have went. So, we're going to tap back into this North Carolina connection real quick. We got your thoughts on Kobe White. There's another player on our team from North Carolina, and Patrick Williams. What's your opinions on Pat?
That's my guy, Florida State. Like, I'm hoping he does good, to be honest with you, because he definitely he needs a little bit more growing, but I think definitely with the right coach, I hope we do get to that. The right coach, he definitely can turn the corner.
Melissa's having some technical difficulties. I think Comcast Xfinity is kind of hating because they didn't want to give CHSN a contract, and Melissa's on here talking about the Bulls. So Steven says, I know the Bulls front office is not good, but I just don't think they trade for Giddy, get no returns, and not plan to keep him past this season. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The front office likes him, so it's probably going to be here. He may have played himself down from that $30 million that was reported that he wanted.
Right.
I don't think he'll be.
No, he definitely shouldn't be getting $30 million.
But yeah, man, as you were just alluded to, so let's go ahead and talk about him. Billy Donovan. Not a fan?
Just like, why are we keeping this guy for all of these years and we're stagnant? Like, it ain't no improvement. So what are we? I guess the front office is in favor of him, because I wasn't even a big fan of his when he was coaching Florida. And I'm just like, we brought him over here and he has done nothing with all these good coaches out here. Sam Cassell, like, come on, man. Like, why?
I'm sure, like most of everybody that's watching, you already know my opinions on Billy. Like he should have been gone.
Bingo.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the same thing. Like year after year, even with the last game where the team comes back because the Bulls aren't making any adjustments because Billy's not making any adjustments to what the other team's doing, and
None.
our opponent makes adjustments to us. Like after the first, second quarter, they come out of halftime and no, they cut the lead down. I mean, the Raptors were missing Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, and it still ended up to where they were able to come back after we were up like 16.
Crazy.
Most of the time it's the fast-paced offense where you say like it's affecting our defense. Like if we're say we're up 6 and we go down, we play some type of defense. We got the steal. We're coming down, and instead of going to the rim, somebody shoots a 3. They miss it. Other team comes down. They're knocking down a 3, and there's a 3-point swing, and then it will happen again. So now it's a tie game, and Billy will still just be there with his dumbass face.
Right, just looking at him like, oh, yeah, just do what you do.
Yeah, not calling any timeouts, not making any adjustments. And then the team comes down again, and they'll take the lead, and then that's when he'll finally want to call the timeout and still, like, not really do anything.
Nothing.
So, yeah, I mean, you said you weren't even a fan in Florida State. I mean, he won championships there, though, right?
Yeah, Florida. I think he did win a couple, actually.
Yeah, that's where he should have stayed.
Right.
That's crazy.
For real. Let's stay right there. I don't know. All them coaches that was sitting out there, they just thought he was just going to be the one.
What would you rate him this season versus last, Julius?
Oof.
I know you're not quite a fan, but do you think he's better or worse than last year, or still the same?
He the same. He the same old coach. He ain't went up. He ain't went down. He just right there in the middle. He gonna get you a win here and there. He's to me not a teacher. You got a bunch of young guys on your team. That's where coaching comes to play. You can't just let them run the floor. Like you got to teach these guys. That's what you're there for.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Booker Chu says what's up, in that he would love Michael Porter Jr. to be honest, but he'd miss sack. I mean, yeah, like I said, Porter's putting up 18 a game, shooting like 40% from the 3. He's not the scorer that Zach is, but I don't think it would be a big drop off to where we're out of the play-in picture. Melissa, I think while you were having the connection problems, I was saying maybe if Zach and Vooch are traded, because there's rumors that the Heat are interested in Vooch, and then we move Lonzo. A starting lineup of Giddey, Kobe, Porter Jr., Patrick Williams, and Jalen Smith might be bad enough to kind of keep that pick, but then again,
right,
the East is so weak, it might not be.
Right, probably wouldn't you.
I think the point is like just to kind of free up some space and to eventually go younger at the very minimum. But yeah, as you said, like again, not bad enough, not good enough. But yeah, at least you get like Zach and Vooch's contracts off the books at minimum.
The Booker Chu says, I mean, we lack depth and size, and he's a decent defender and rebounder. He's 6'10". That was another like pro for me for that trade. Porter. If we would get Porter and Freaky Zeke, that would force Billy Donovan to not be able to play 4-guard lineups all the time. Like right. we're starting Ayo DeSumo at power forward while Pat was out. So
Yeah, I didn't like that. Oof.
I mean, it does, help us with size, but again, like the goal of the season is to be bad enough to where we can keep that top 10 protected pick and maybe get.
We need it.
Yeah. Okay, Xfinity is still hating on Melissa. But yeah, I mean, we need that top 10 pick to potentially get a star caliber player or somebody to pair with Modest Buzelis, and that's what I'm going to ask your opinion on next. What do you think about Modest and Billy's lack of minute distribution?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, what aren't you seeing in him? You know what I'm saying? There's Billy Donovan where he can't get those minutes. Like, I don't understand. Like, put him in there, see what he definitely can do. You know what I'm saying? I don't. That got me puzzled. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, just put him out there. I mean, I think, instead of starting Io at power forward while Pat was injured, Modest should have been starting.
Should have been in there exactly.
But he's still getting like 13 minutes a game to where he can only make so big of an impact with so limited playing time. And then you're playing like THT. I mean, shout out to him because he's the oldest 24-year-old I've ever seen.
I know, right?
He's balling. He will get you some YMCA buckets out there.
Mm-hmm.
But he should not be playing over your rookie, your 11th pick rookie.
Right.
You need to try to build with.
I don't see. He's one of them coaches that don't like to play them young guys. You know what I'm saying? That know they got talent. It's just like, what aren't you really seeing in him, or what do you think they're too cocky at practice, or like what's going on to where they can't get minutes throughout the season? Like, you know what I'm saying? To make us competitive, or maybe he's tanking. Who knows? I don't know what he's doing, but yeah.
Bugachu asked, do you guys prefer that they tank or at least make the play-in? I don't think like players and coaches tank. It's no fun to just watch loss after loss.
Right. Who wants to lose?
Yeah. I mean, and plus you don't want to build a losing culture for whatever iteration of the team is next. But that being said, we would like to see them lose enough to keep their pick. Whether that ends up in them still making the play-in and losing out of the play-in to where maybe they still are able to keep that pick, sort of like the Hawks last year where they were 10th. They lost in the play-ins and they lucked up and got the number 1 draft pick.
Yep.
But losing more games does give you a better chance of keeping that pick than turning it over to the Spurs. So,
oh yeah, because Spurs they're one player look like away from doing what they need to do.
French Bulls TV says, with our defense or lack therefore of, I have no doubt we'll go down the standings and keep our pick. We just beat weak teams full of injuries. We have Boston twice and Bucks twice in the next 5.
Yeah, I look at our schedule. Oof.
Oofman says, Billy supposedly loves winning basketball. So instead of treating the season as a free hit in a ass conference, he's going strong in the clutch to clinch victories where we can learn from losses. Can you really learn from a loss? I mean, well, I guess you can. You can. Jordan said, in order to win, you got to learn how to lose. So there are things you can learn in losses and like moral victories, but we're winning. like I think we're 3 games under 500, and yeah, that's not where we want to be because it's every season we're like 3 games under 500.
Every season.
I mean, I think our friends at CHGO, Matt Peck, he's always saying, you know, sometimes they're 2, sometimes they're 4, but they're always 3 under 500.
Always.
It's like, yeah, we're always around that mid level to where not good enough to win and contend, and not bad enough to, you know, bottom out and get a draft pick.
Right, and get a draft pick. Yep, every time.
Yeah, so I mean, Clem, hopefully, you know, your theory is correct. You know, with the lack of defense the Bulls have been playing this season, that, you know, they will start to fall down towards the bottom of the standards as they play tougher teams. Like I said, we have Boston, I believe tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the defending champs. Actually, we played them. Our next 2 games is against Boston, and
yep, tomorrow and then again Saturday.
Yep, one in Boston, one in Chicago, and then you immediately get the Bucks, who just won the in-season tournament. What's your opinion on the in-season tournament? Because, you know, like when we were watching in the Dynasty days, like we didn't have that. There's just you're playing for a championship and not a mid-season cup.
Right. So definitely, I guess they're trying to get the ratings up for the NBA. That's why they brought it on the cup. Me personally liking it, I'm really not a big fan of it, to be honest. Because we already know the NBA in the 90s, early 2000s, like, you going for the NBA championship, not worried about a cup. So to me, you'll play harder going for the NBA championship than trying to play for an in-season cup. So that is my real true feelings about the cup. I'm not a big fan of it.
I mean, it's not as bad as like what I first thought. Like when they announced it, I was like, okay, this is stupid. Like, what does that matter?
Right.
But, you know, it's gotten some competitive games out of, you know, people playing in the cup. You know, you saw the Lakers last year in the inaugural cup. They raised the banner, and, you know, they're they're shaking up champagne backstage, and like they just won the NBA finals.
Right.
So the Bucks didn't do that. They skipped the celebration, said no.
Yeah, this ain't what we really want. We want that NBA championship.
Yep. So it's like, yeah, this is cool, but our focus is on the end of the year.
Right. We want bigger, better things. Like let's and maybe that gives them that boost to where, okay, we can win this. We can go ahead and try to win the championship. That's, you know.
Ufna says he was rooting hard for OKC, and then he remembered they gave us Giddy with no pick.
Right.
So I'm guessing you're happy
Right.
with the Bucks getting that win, huh, Ufna?
Man.
So they did us dirty, so yeah.
They needed to lose. Shoot.
Right. I mean, hey, that's how I gotta go. Yeah, but so Melissa is once again, she's saying she's fighting her dial-up Comcast. So I'm not sure if she'll be back or not, but yeah, we gotta keep it rolling. You know, thanks everybody for tapping in with us so far. So I mean, Julius, so are you more so in the you want to see this team like start to kind of bottom out to where, you know, our draft odds are improved, or you want to see them like go for it? I mean, some people just like, hey, screw the tank, let's win.
So I really wouldn't have an opinion on that until the trade deadline. Now, if they're showing like they want to win now, you know what I'm saying? But if it's showing they don't do nothing at the trade deadline, then we need to go ahead and put players out there with you know what I'm saying? Let them do what they do. And they win, they lose, they lose. Because, yeah, we gonna be 3-4 games under 500 and just do the play in, like, no. let's get players. Let's start building the Bulls back to where they need to be. Like, I hate seeing the Bulls like this. Like, real.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we came up, we were watching these guys win championships. This was a top-notch teams, like
Right.
winning 72 games in a season. Like you were not expecting the Bulls to lose a game, and now we're like, now it's like, you win some, you lose.
Right. So me and one of my friends had a conversation the other day when we lost to the Sixers. He was like, "Y'all really lost to us? We really did."
Yeah, I mean, Joel Embiid had been out like how many games, and he was
Right.
like, "Oh, we're playing the Bulls. All right, I'm gonna suit up for this one."
Exactly.
Embiid has like been notoriously punishing the Bulls like ever since he stepped foot in the NBA.
Seriously.
I don't know like what he has against us.
Right. Maybe he wanted to come to us. We, us fans, we didn't know that he wanted to come to us, and they never wanted to sign him. But it's just like, man, he punishes us every time he plays.
Melissa, you internet a little better now?
I don't want to speak too soon, but at the moment it's working.
All right, so we were just talking about how when we played the Sixers, who have been struggling, we lost because Embiid saw the Bulls on the schedule and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play for that game," and how he's just been like kicking our ass ever since he's coming to the league.
He loves playing us.
Yeah, we have no idea like why. Like,
what do you have against Chicago? What happened to you over here?
Exactly.
Who hurt you, Embiid?
Like, somebody had to, man. Like, man. Oh, I'm playing the Bulls? Okay, yeah. I need to play this game. I don't care. My knee jacked up. I'm going to play. Like, come on, man.
And, it started off where he wasn't doing anything or he's missing everything. I'm like, okay, he probably should have not played this game. And then, like, the second half came and he just cooked our ass.
Right.
Like, oh, y'all must have forgot. It's been terrible with him because I think we have like one win against him.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
Yeah, I thought we had a chance because when he came back that first half, he wasn't looking too hot. But I know he was just getting used to playing again. But he sure went off on us in the second half. So we shall see. To be continued.
Yeah, Booker Chu says, "Man, Embiid, he kills us every time." Yeah, I mean, he came in and he killed us, and now he's back out injured again with a nasal.
Exactly. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I play this game. Oh yeah, I'm hurt again. Yeah. Crazy.
I mean, yes, I mean, maybe Embiid plays us again next time and cuts us again and helps our chances at that draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is you want us to lose, kind of.
I don't.
You want us to lose the games that we're more likely to lose. You're okay with,
as long as we beat the goddamn Knicks.
Yeah,
especially on Derrick Rose night. Like,
we need to win that game on the 4th. If we don't win that game on the 4th, I mean, I don't even know what to say. That would be so high key, the most embarrassing thing ever. Like, please beat them. The whole squad is going to be in the building. Like Derrick and like probably the whole team, like his whole supporting cast and bench mob. I feel like they're all going to be there.
Right. It's like that's really the only game I care about us winning for real. Like, I'm never going to root for us to lose, but when we lose, I'm like, helps our draft odds. But yeah, that game, they need to win. Like I said, Julius, you seen the dynasty era, you seen the Tim Floyd years, and then how did it feel when you saw the Bulls draft Derrick Rose and what he turned out to be in a very quick time with the Bulls, being the youngest MVP ever.
Man, I loved when we got Derrick Rose. Like, that dude was doing his thing. Like, I loved that boy. I thought we were back. You know what I'm saying? Which we were for a little bit, you know. But yeah, I love that pick, man. That Derrick Rose, I didn't want to see him go at all. Like, that dude balling, man. I loved it.
I think that's all of Chicago. Where
Real, man. I did not want to see Derrick Rose leave the building.
Did you have a favorite player during that era? Like, you surprised us with the Pippen answer.
He actually became one of my favorite players again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a few from other teams that I wish would have came to the Bulls. Like Wade. I wish we would have got him sooner. Man.
Of course, to get him towards the end of his career.
Right. Where he stole money.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. Y'all, we supposed to be halfway. Like, but yeah, he definitely became one of my favorite players when we drafted him.
Uthman says, losing that Derrick Rose game is crash out worthy. Yeah, like Derrick's going to be there, obviously. Joakim, Taj Gibson, who the Bulls fans gave the standing ovation when we played.
I love Taj Gibson too. He's Charlotte. Mm-hmm.
Now,
yeah, if they don't win that game with all them in the building, like, we are cursed. The Bulls are going to be cursed from the basketball gods for the next 10 plus years.
And they gonna, and just because of that, they're gonna play a self watch. Watch, they gonna watch.
I don't want to put that into the universe. Like, no, we got to win it. We have to.
Seriously.
I mean, plus it's the rivalry with New York. Like, there's not a team that I hate more than the New York Knicks.
Right.
So playing them at home on Derrick Rose night, it's got to be a win. Like,
it's got to be like yeah. Nothing less. Like, we need that.
Like, it's so much history going into that, and there's still been no word on whether or not they're going to retire D Rose's jersey.
They know man.
I don't think they're gonna do it this game, but in general, they need to. It's already.
They should eventually, man. That he did a lot of good things for the Bulls, man. He deserves that.
My thought from a different perspective of our ownership, I'm sure they want to kind of milk that. So I do feel like they're going to retire his number, but I mean, why not get another game out of it, another type of ceremony out of it? Get to charge the fans to go and come support, because they'll come and support. It's Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that, to where they might not hang up a banner for Rose's number that night, but they could possibly announce like next season that they're going to retire the number.
Right.
So that way they kill two birds with one stone. They give the fans what they want, but they get to make more money from it next season.
Exactly.
Yeah, that has to be a full-blown ceremony.
It has to be.
It's just another way to rake in more revenue.
Yeah.
Booker Chu says he wished that game didn't cost an arm and a leg.
No, so do we. I actually looked at the tickets today just out of curiosity, because I hadn't looked in a couple of weeks. I was giving up hope. And yeah, they're still pretty expensive. It's like a 300 level. The cheapest I saw was like right under 200 for a nosebleed, like next to the rafters. And you're in the rafters, basically.
Yeah, I mean, and that's actually a bit of a markdown, because a few weeks ago it was like 300 for those seats. So you can get an experienced D Rose night up close with the banners and Bob Love. Rest in peace to him.
Right.
You're pretty much up in the heavens. So at least you would get to kick it with a Bulls legend, who is actually one of the four numbers that we have actually retired.
Yep.
Steven says beating Tibbs on Rose night is poetic.
It's poetic. It's mandatory.
Ufma says, I'm not ready for the tears, man. Losing would be so anticlimactic and depressing.
Yeah, oof.
Honestly, it's so embarrassing every time Joe's in the building and we lose or have a bad game. Like, even just that, like, Joe's in the building watching you and you're playing like this. Like, Joe played with all of his heart, hustle, muscle, and you're playing like this. So, yeah.
Man.
And correct.
And the Bulls just put out something with Joakim talking about like one of his favorite moments of his career was a playoff game against the Nets where he was playing on like one leg. He's like, it was special to me because I'm out there playing on one leg, and to go out there and impact the game and get that rebound.
He really did.
And as you said, heart, hustle, muscle. He gave his body, gave his soul, gave his blood, sweat, and tears. And every time he's in the building, the Bulls just do not play up to the standards that Joakim helped set. And I know Joe's like tired of seeing the Bulls lose every time he's in the United Center.
He might need to have a pep talk. And I'm like, hey man, hey, y'all, I'm in the building, y'all be losing. I'm coming to see y'all win, man. What are y'all doing? Like, come on now.
Steven says also, yes, his jersey number should be retired in the most ceremonious of manners. Yeah, I don't know if like they have like our legends talk to the current team. Like you would think you had these guys like Tony Kukoc and Dennis Rodman coming in, and you would have them like kind of talk to the players that are on the team now and to like give them some advice. And like even with Joe, like they didn't win a championship, but they were the closest that we came since Jordan and Pippen.
Right.
I think it's a matter of like how receptive you are as a player too. Like I could see players like Kobe and Io really taking to advice like that and wanting to learn and wanting to hear everything about like old former players' experiences and what it takes to win. But you have other players. I don't want to like name any specific names, Patrick Williams, that will maybe listen to the advice and not necessarily apply it because everybody had been pouring so much into him between players, current players like DeMar at the time. You can have all of the best mentors and like everybody feeding you advice on like what you should do to get better, but at the end of the day, it's also a matter of the player too. Like,
you gotta want to take that. Yeah, you gotta want to take the knowledge. Definitely.
Yes. Are you okay? Are you humble enough to understand that, like, yeah, it's okay to hear from other people that have done it before and actually apply these things, maybe do things a little bit differently because what I'm doing is not working. So, yeah, even I would love for that to happen. I would love to know that. I would love to know that they're being spoken to by former players, but it's on the actual person themselves to be able to take that advice.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerry, aka Billy, whoever needs to hear this. The next time there's a 2-game break, have Joakim Noah kidnap Modest Buzelis for like 24 hours.
Yeah. Like him, Modest, like, he would like take off with any type of advice or feedback from former players. That's another player. What?
There's Patrick who?
Patrick. I didn't say anything about Patrick.
Ufus is a front office had my goat crying in his documentary. Alec Jacoby White, I'm on your ass. Thinking of the court weekly. Better rise. I mean, we talked like Kobe has not had the impact so far this season. He has last season.
Mm-hmm.
One being that he's adjusting again to a different role on the team to where he's playing more off ball
later
with Josh Giddey. Also, they're playing a lot faster where Kobe is looking like he's trying to be a little too fast at times.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you don't have DeMar DeRozan there to where you can dump it to DeMar and 2-3 players are going to gravitate toward Debo and you can kick it out and Kobe can make a play or he can knock down an open shot. So, Kobe usually is a little hot and cold. Right now he is kind of a bit of a cold slump, but he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right, I think.
Yeah, like him, he just needs the ball back in his hands. Kobe was going crazy with the ball in his hands.
Right.
But we threw him in another role against getting acclimated to like off ball again.
Yep. Nah. He needed the ball in his hands to me, like you said. That's for real.
I mean, we'll probably see the ball more in his hands during
With Giddey
tomorrow's
being
game because
Mhm.
Giddey is probably going to be out with the ankle
Right.
injury. So, no, watch tomorrow's game and might change your opinion on Kobe. Bookachu says Jaylen Brown missed practice this week due to his mom's home being broken into. Unfortunate news there for Jaylen Brown's family. He'll probably still play tomorrow and cook us.
Even more so now he's playing with a different set of emotions.
Steven says Kobe just needs the rock. As Melissa said, after Zach, the defense reacts more to him having it than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's another thing where,
Yep.
Kobe was in those most improved player talks last season and should have won that award. So now he's like really focused in on the opposing team scouting report.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just more adjustments Kobe has to make. No, he's still young, even though
Exactly.
like in their fifth or sixth year. He's only
8
24.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, we've seen Kobe like grow a lot, especially last season. I mean, yeah, I mean he's pretty much also now like one of our best trade ships. If they wanted to go that route, I wouldn't want to see them move off of Kobe right now, but he's on a great value contract, and he was just in the running for most improved player last season and should have won it.
Because I was thinking he was going to be one of their trade chips, which, like I say, we don't know. He could be. You know what I'm saying? And if we do, this would be the time to kind of get rid of him. We're going to get rid of him.
Yeah, I think like he or Io would be like getting us the best return draft capital. Maybe a young player. Certainly more than what you're saying, what we would get for Zach, to where you're talking about Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke, and even with Vooch, where the Bulls have said they want a first round pick, and opposing GMs are like, you may get a couple of second rounds.
Yeah. Maybe last year they would have went for that, but this year they're not.
Says Derek is not opposed to moving Kobe next year, depending on how much he's asking for. I think he's still under contract next year. I don't think, because of the size of his contract this year, I don't think he can go up too much to where it's like a crazy amount to where they're like, no, you can't pay him that. But no, it depends on if Zach's moved, if Vooch moved. What's our salary cap looking like? Like I said, we do this trade with the Nuggets, not really getting any salary cap relief. So, and then how much you going to pay Giddey? So, I mean, you got to see what it's looking like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. Next two games against Boston. Any type of predictions?
Tough road. Tough road. But no, to be honest with you, we might be able to get him. I don't see us getting him in Boston, but I think coming back home, we might be able to get him.
Yeah, I mean, we do like play Boston well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as it's been made about the Bulls playing down to the competition, where they let weaker teams hang around and then somehow lose to them, they do play up to their competition as well.
That is what. Yep.
So So 1-1.
Yeah, I say 1-1.
I'll go with 1-1 as well.
That's where I'm at too. 1-1. I'm hoping we're gonna see Kobe with the ball.
Yeah, that game we definitely them 2 games. Yeah, he got to have the ball in his hand.
Yeah. Hopefully Zach will be playing as well because he set out last game with back spasms, and he practiced today, but said he's not going to be optimistic about playing until he see how he feels tomorrow after getting treatment for the game. But he was playing 1-on-1 with his teammates today, and I don't know, maybe Zach drops another 50 piece on Boston and ups his trade value a bit more.
Yeah.
Like Denver, y'all think about me? Watch this. Boogachu says Giddy is out, most likely, definitely. So yeah, you should definitely see Kobe with the ball a lot more tomorrow. Hopefully, looking like the Kobe we saw last season, where he's just cooking guys. Melissa, you get over there.
Internet is acting silly again. So I'm trying to hold on for dear life.
Get it together, Comcast. Let the people in Chicago watch Bulls games and stop interfering with our podcast right now for Melissa. Yeah, I mean, I think that'll do it for us. Julius, thank you for coming on. Shout out AJ for connecting us.
Most definitely, man. I just appreciate giving me the platform to talk about the Bulls because I always been wanting to do this, and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you. It's great having you. Like I said, this is Bulls fan podcast for the fans by the fans. If y'all thought we were just saying that, we're not. Like we're not
y'all
bullshitting.
We were playing.
We're not bullshitting you here.
Not.
So if you're interested in coming on and talk to us about the Bulls, hit me, hit Melissa. You can hit the Bulls on Tap Twitter page, or you can hit our guy Morris Bankston. He will get you in contact with us, schedule up, and we'll get you on and talk Bulls.
Julius, are you anywhere like talking Bulls on social media?
Talk about them everywhere.
Okay. Like if you want to let anybody know where
yeah, I talk about it everywhere. Like
okay.
People always ask me, why are you still a Bulls fan? They're my team. I'm not a bandwagon guy. Like I'm gonna support the Bulls as long as I'm living. It's my team.
It's one of those things. These fans are loyal. Chicago Bulls fans are loyal through and through.
Right. Because they was like, especially, when the Jordan and Pippen era was, what I'm saying? Then Derrick was gone. They was just like, why are you still a Bulls fan? Because that's my team. Where else do you want me to go? Like, I'm going nowhere.
Exactly.
Okay. We ride or die for the Bulls over here.
Right.
But, yeah. Is there any, where you want to tell people to follow you? If you check out the Bulls on Tap Twitter page, they'll see a link for your Facebook, but any other social media where you can talk Bulls with some listeners?
Nah, to be honest with you, I'll be trying to stay off social media like that. Facebook is probably about the only, way people can get in contact with me, and I talk sports with them. Because I deploy a lot of stuff like that, so that's probably about the only, network I can still use while I'm deployed. So.
Okay. What about like on online on Madden?
They definitely can do that. Cruise Control 910. Tap into me.
There you go. All right. Like I said, Julius, thank you for joining us. And
appreciate you, Derek and Melissa.
Thank you,
until
Julius.
the next time.
All righty.
Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.